What's up, y'all? It's Mush here, and today we're going to be talking about what you should do before you move into your dorm. So let's get right to it. So as you're applying for colleges, living in a dorm is one of the biggest things that you do. And before you do that, one of the things I always recommend doing is looking and doing the research into your dorms early on. Look up the priority deadlines, look up the options that you have for housing, look up when you have to have roommates selected by. Doing this will help you have a seamless transition rather than doing it last minute. Oftentimes people put off housing until the last minute, and that's how people don't get their first option or get roommates they are not necessarily satisfied with. So one of the first things you should be doing when you're applying for colleges is looking into your housing, looking at what your options are, looking at where the priority deadlines are for housing applications and what the roommate selection process or the roommate matching process looks like. Doing this will help you be proactive in not only finding the ideal dorm that might be there for your college campus, but also making sure you get the dorm you might want or the roommates that you want. A lot of things on college campus, especially when you're applying for college, especially for your dorms, is going to be being proactive and planning ahead of time, and also making sure you know what your options are and being as educated as possible about the housing policies for the college that you're going to. Once you've looked up all the information and also you've looked at everything and applied for your college dorms, one of the things I always recommend is getting a college tour / college dorm tour. A lot of universities will offer these tours. For example, at the University of North Texas, you can actually go to the Welcome Center and get tours of certain rooms for the dorms, specifically the freshman halls too. You can get tours of them. A lot of colleges will have that. A lot of colleges will have virtual tours. If you look up college dorm tours on YouTube, a lot of college students also post those. So I recommend looking into those for the dorm that you're going to be living at, because it's going to give you a really good idea for what you're going to be moving into. In case you're wanting to decorate or plan ahead and get an idea of what you want to bring, these tours are going to be essential for you. So when you're planning ahead, also make sure to think about, do I know where I'm going to be living, and do you know what it looks like? Knowing that will give you a better idea and also give you an idea about what to pack, how to decorate the room, how you might want to configure your furniture. So strongly recommend getting a tour or watching virtual tours or finding videos online. It's very helpful. After applying for housing, after looking at the room that you're going to be moving into, now we come to the fun part. Your college roommate. If you're going to be living with a roommate, I strongly recommend having conversations with them before you move in. That means when you're in the roommate selection process, talk to them, grab lunch with them if possible, and talk to them about how they live. Are they a night owl, or are they up at 5 a.m. when you don't like waking up that early? Do they like having a lot of people over? Are you introverted? Are they extroverted? Talk about things that you're compatible with, and talk about things like who cleans the bathroom if you guys are sharing the bathroom. Talk about what cleanliness looks like for each of you. Sorry, words are kind of hard sometimes. Look at what visitor hours look like. If your roommate has a significant other, how often are they going to be coming over? When you're applying for housing and looking for a roommate, having those conversations early on is extremely important, because that sets expectations. And also, talk about boundaries. What is sharing each other's things looks like for each other. Have those conversations, and also if you're doing that early on, if you find out that you might not be compatible with the roommate you've selected, you can change roommates later on too. So always keep that in mind. Living with someone for a whole academic year is a very long time, and sometimes you have to have those uncomfortable conversations too, even if it might feel awkward to talk about them, because you are going to be living with them, and having those boundaries set and having those expectation sets early on makes the transition into college life a lot more easier, and you're going to have a lot less to stress out about, because coming in as a freshman or living in the dorm for the first time away from your parents is already stressful as it is. Other things to think about is how you're going to decorate your dorm room. If you have an idea of what the configuration of your dorm is, Decorations are really important. Sometimes you might be living away from your family for the first time ever, and you're living away from home. So it really helps to have a decorated room. It really helps to have some place that actually feels like home. So making your dorm space your own is extremely important. And before you do that, always look up the housing codes and housing rules and regulations they have for decorating the room, because sometimes they have certain rules because of fire safety, or certain rules because of what you can put on the walls or not. So always make sure to look up those rules and decorate it how you want to. Something to also consider is getting involved on campus. When you're living alone for the first time, it can be very stressful, and having a support system is really important. If you're living in the dorms, there are going to be organizations within your residence hall often, or around campus. Look at the things you might want to get involved in and see how you can get involved and what that looks like for you, and look at finding support systems in your dorm, not only around the area but also on campus. That's going to help your transition into college a lot easier too. In my opinion, I got involved in the Residence Hall Council my freshman year, and that's how I started my leadership journey, and that was a huge thing for me because I really needed a support system being in college for the first time. So I strongly recommend getting involved on campus if possible. So yeah, y'all, that's a short little video about what you should do before you move into your dorms. Always look up everything, always be informed about everything. Talk to your roommates if possible, and also get involved on campus. You're gonna be living away from home for the first time sometimes for a lot of you, and getting the most out of it is the most important thing. That means knowing what you're getting into. That means knowing where you're going to be living, and also getting involved and getting the most out of what you're paying for in the dorm. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'm going to be posting more as possible. I haven't been able to because I've been moving, but I hope y'all have a good day.